Besky has a block by Walker. And that's how this one will end. A big win for Portland. Portland wins it 82-58. Pilots will head down to Vegas for the West Coast Conference Tournament. But a big win to close out the 2017-18 regular season.
Incredibly proud. Obviously, the energy was fantastic. It was fantastic before. I mean, from shoot around, it was fantastic in yesterday's practice. Like, that's where it started, obviously, to get to the result for today. So extremely proud, okay? We held them to 58, okay? So from that last 3 minutes, okay, they scored 1 point in the last 3 minutes, okay? So it was great determination from the group on the floor. I thought you guys did a really good job all around, okay? Beautiful game, beautiful effort, okay? Really proud of you guys. All right, now it's on to Vegas, okay? And we know what our goal is, okay? We know what our goal is, okay? Here we go.
Great, Josie.
1, 2.
Pilots on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Pilots!
The women's basketball team ended the regular season on a high note and sent their seniors off in style with that stellar performance against Pepperdine. Hi everybody, welcome to Portside of the Pilots. I'm Adam Lindman. Saturday marked the final appearance at the Chow Center for Portland's 3 seniors, and Ashley Gray, Rochelle Owens, and Sarah Zaragoza were honored at the pre-game ceremony. Gray was solid on defense and helped shut down the Way's leading scorer. Owens handed out a career-best 11 assists, and Zaragoza was dominant in the post, scoring a career-high 16 points. Freshman Maddie Mulheim also reached a milestone as she knocked down 4 three-pointers, and she now holds the program record for most threes in a season by a Pilot freshman. And currently she has 47 as the Pilots head to the WCC tournament with some momentum.
We have great players. Anybody can show up at any point for us, and we go deep into our bench. So we're grateful for that, but having energy and celebrating each other, that's what gets us going every time. So when I celebrate Darian, or she celebrates me, or I celebrate Sarah, that's what gets us going for the next possession, for a defensive stop on the other end, to come back down and transition to a great offensive bucket. So that's what we focused on all night long, with just energy, intensity, and defense all night.
It was just exciting. Like, our mindset going into today was play for Z, Ash, and Roe. Like, that was our motivation today. And so just the energy we had, and it was consistent throughout the game, like, that's what kept us going.
We just moved the ball pretty good. I think we got like a lot of assists as a team, and I think that's what made the change, the difference. And then we got stops, so we were able to score fast in transition.
Just offensively, we were moving really well, and I think we were 22 assists on 34 shots, so we were looking for each other, and when people get hot, like, you keep feeding them.
Baseball also had a successful weekend on the Bluff as the Pilots won 3 of 4 against St. Joe's during their home opening series. The Pilots won Friday night and swept a doubleheader on Saturday at Joe Etzel Field before the Hawks escaped with a win on Sunday to avoid the sweep. Portland connected for 10 home runs, which included 3 from Daniel Lopez and 2 each from Ryan Kim and Cody Hawken. The Pilots combined for a sparkling staff ERA of 1.75. Kim was 10 for 16 overall, drove in 8 RBIs, had 3 doubles and a triple, and he was a single shy of hitting for the cycle on Saturday. The men's basketball team honored their 2 seniors last Thursday night as center Philip Hartwich and guard DeMarcus Tyson made their final appearance at the Chow Center when the Pilots hosted BYU. Hartwich has started every game this season and currently ranks 2nd in the conference in blocks and is 3rd in rebounds. The native of Cologne, Germany, broke the UP career record for block shots earlier this year, and he shattered the single-season record. Tyson, who hails from Bothell, Washington, leads the WCC in three-point percentage by shooting a blistering 47% from beyond the arc. He will end his career 2nd all-time at UP in three-pointers made. Tyson made history last Saturday at Pepperdine when he joined the 1,000 career point club. Tyson buried his 2nd three-pointer of the game with 11:45 left in regulation to become the 40th player in Portland history to surpass the 1,000-point mark. He ended the night with 12 points. The men's tennis team's remarkable home winning streak at the Louisiana Pacific Tennis Center extended to 24 matches with a 4-0 sweep of Gonzaga on Sunday afternoon. The Pilots grabbed the early lead by winning the doubles point, and the Pilots singles lineup took care of business with straight set wins at the top 3 positions. 36th ranked Mike Pervolarakis returned for the Pilots, earning a quick victory at the #1 spot. The Pilots return to action on Sunday when the number 33 ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers visit the LP Tennis Center for an 11 a.m. match. Coming up next on Portside, we'll talk with standout distance runners Matt Welch and Noah Schude as they prepare for the outdoor track season, which gets underway this weekend. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're joined now by a pair of Portland distance runners, Matt Welch and Noah Schude. Guys, thanks for joining us here this evening.
Thanks for having us.
Noah, first question, most important question I'm going to ask you, your last name. There's been an ongoing discussion about it throughout the athletic office for quite some time. How do you pronounce it?
You say Schutte. Schutte. I'm sorry. Now I pronounce my own last name wrong. No, it's funny because most people here call me Shoot, and I'm like, Shoot, that sounds kind of weird. So now people say Shooty or Shoote, or 2 weeks ago it's called like Shawty, and I was like, wait, what is that? But yeah. All right. Well, I think we're going to solve that mystery. Let's talk about what it was like to finish second in the nation last fall, NCAA championships. Huge accomplishment for the team. How did it feel to actually be there and compete and be a part of it? Matt, we'll start with you.
Okay. It was definitely a dream come true for me because previously I was at a program, University of Minnesota, where we couldn't contend for a national title. We were just not at that level at that time, and I purposely chose UP because it was a program that was ready to make that step. And to be a part of that is something really special and something that I will always cherish for the rest of my life. And especially, yeah, just representing like University of Portland and all its uniqueness and running against huge schools like Stanford, University of Washington, University of Oregon, that chip on the shoulder mentality just made it that much sweeter to run the way that we did.
Yeah, it was super cool. Honestly, the moment I came here, I remember this being like cross-country school, and I was like, okay, it would be so cool if we could actually get on a podium at some point and when I'm here, especially because like pretty recently we had a podium team, and we've all been looking up to those guys, and it's so crazy to see that we actually got on a podium ourselves. And I think the process towards this was like great with the team, and it was great to have it paid off in the end. Yeah.
And Matt, take us back. You had a monster kick. You passed 19 guys in the final 2,000 meters, essentially clinching the second place trophy for the Pilots. Talk about what is going through your head during those moments.
That was also my first race of the season because I had an injury. So I missed 3 weeks of training, and I didn't get a race at all, I guess, up till that point. And Coach took this huge gamble on me. And he kept whispering in my ear. He's like, no pressure, Matt. No pressure at all. Just go out there and have fun. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is the national stage. Like I've only been there once. And then during the race, things went out well, but then the middle section got really hard. And that's like mentally when you started to break down, especially with my, not racing all season. I was like, oh, this is a weird feeling. Like you can't really replicate this in practice. It's completely different. And I remember it was right at that, I think 7.5K, Caleb Webb passed me. And I think that was like the spark that I needed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm 4th and 5th man and top 5 scorer for the team. And it's like, I'm still needed. I still really need to put my neck in this and contribute to the team. So I think that's when things started to turn around, and I kind of made that run for home. And I had this newfound energy this last 1K when RC is screaming at me, and he's like, 5 more guys, that's all we need to get second, 5 more guys. And I think I just kept telling myself 5 more guys, and then it was like 5 more, 10 more, 15, 19. And I think just eventually I gave it my absolute all in that last 1K and ran the best race I've ever had in my entire life.
Is that when you earned the nickname Matty Ice, or did that come previous?
That was on my recruiting visit, actually. Because I was from Minnesota, and Minnesota's really cold. And icy, so RC was like, well, you're Matty Ice, but you can only use that name if you come to Portland. So luckily I did, and we were second at Nationals.
Makes sense. Noah, you came to the Bluff from the Netherlands. Talk about the decision process. What got you to Portland?
Yeah, for me it was funny in a way because during high school I was already thinking about maybe going to the US at some point, but then decided to still do my undergrad in the Netherlands, at least started at first. And then I studied in Amsterdam for 3 years and I really liked that. But during those 3 years I actually had the time to figure out where I wanted to go, if I wanted to go to the US. And it was super nice to have Anna here. Anna has been here for 5 years, and she sent me a message on Facebook at some point. She was like, "Hey, Noah, the coach here asked if I knew any fast guys from the Netherlands, and I know you, so I sent him your name." And that was super cool for me because I was kind of trying to make a list, what are good programs in the US, good cross-country programs, good schools, and I put Portland on that list, and then to so coincidentally come up with a contact over here and get in contact with RC. That was super cool for me, so yeah.
So now it's track season. The indoor season just ended. Outdoor season literally right around the corner. Noah, you were a second-team All-American last year in the steeplechase. What are you aiming for this spring?
Yeah, what I'm aiming for. I'm not going to say that I am going to win, but I'm going to try to win. And that's always what people say to me, what's your goal, top 5, top 3? And I'm like, I cannot really set a goal, which is winning top 2 or top 5 or whatever. I can only set the goal to be prepared as good as possible and try to win. And that means that even if I get maybe not even top 5, I might still be satisfied with the result. It just really depends on who's there on the day and how I feel on the day. So I'm just going to try to give it my best, yeah.
And Matt, you've improved on your indoor times in the 3K since coming to Portland. Talk about the difference in training between here and Minnesota, and what are your goals for the spring?
I think RC is absolutely brilliant when it comes to training, and his unique approach to it and how nearly everyone develops in this program. I don't know if I've met anybody on the team currently that has not gotten better in this program. I dropped my 5K PR by 17 seconds, my 3K PR by 9 seconds, which is pretty phenomenal in the track and field world with such short training. So now, yeah, I'm just riding this high of cross country and indoor, finally achieving my goals that I always thought that I could, in such a supportive team environment. It's been my dream since day one to be an All-American, and I missed out in cross. But I think that's still a realistic opportunity for outdoor. And that's definitely what I'm gunning for in the 10K.
Have to end with this question. We asked a lot of student athletes the same thing. Post-college life, it's inevitable. Do you have any plans so far, Noah?
I don't have any plans yet. People always ask me, are you going to stay in the US or are you going to move back? I think I'm going to move back, but you'd never know. I mean, sometimes opportunities just come up, and if I could stay here running, that would be cool as well. So I still have to figure out. I'll see.
And Matt, I think you have a future as maybe Portland cross country recruiting coordinator.
Ooh, oh, that would be fun. That'd be a freaking blast. But my plans currently, I have a job at the university for the summer, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to be the summer housing coordinator, working with the Residence Life Office while I finish up a couple of my classes for my graduate program in higher education and student affairs. And then after that, I think in September, I want to move to Flagstaff, Arizona to continue training in pursuit to make the 2020 Olympic trials in the marathon. Hopefully I'll be working at a university so I can progress my career and my athletic career at the same time. But I definitely want to continue running, and that was definitely revived here in this program. So I'm definitely appreciative for all that UP has offered me and all that coach has given me. So.
Matty Ice, Noah, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this spring and beyond.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Academics are a huge part of the life of a collegiate student athlete, and every year all student athletes are invited to nominate a professor who has helped make a difference during their time at the University of Portland. And here are those difference makers.
I am honored to receive it because I teach because I love the students, and so it's really special to me that the students think that I've made a difference to them in some way, and so it's really just amazing.
Well, I'm an alumni, which I love, so I've always had this affinity to the campus, and I love the spirit of collegiality and that we're moving forward and learning and trying to do the best we can to help kids in the classroom. So the School of Ed really does that for them. This is really an honor and it was just this remarkable surprise because I come to campus and in a school of education, I'm trying to help every student become the best teacher they can be. And to know that through that process, just helping them be the best them, that they saw something and they connected, it's really touching.
You know, the athletes are special to me because at UP, they, work really hard out of the classroom, but then also work really hard in the classroom. So it's neat that students that are athletes, who I admire because of their work ethic, recognize me for what I try to do in the classroom.
I've been in a couple places, and at UP the students are just always willing to try new things, but also willing to work hard and do what they need to do to learn something as difficult as chemistry.
My philosophy is to make a stressful situation enjoyable and help them create a tight community in the classroom and have a lot of fun while they're doing it.
For any learner, I try to meet them where they're at and help them grow from there. And when you do that, people are at their best.
The transition to collegiate competition is never easy, but 2 weeks into the baseball season and some Pilot newcomers are already making an impact. In fact, the success of Portland's newcomers will go a long way in determining what kind of season the Pilots have on the diamond.
It's been awesome. The off season was long. It took forever to get here, especially over the winter. We put in a lot of work, so I was excited to get it going and finally win some games too.
We just want to make the playoffs. We want to get to Stockton. That's a team goal. We set that out at the beginning of the year, and it's kind of what drives our workouts, our practices. Tries to keep us focused. That's the end goal, and we know that we all want that really badly.
It felt really good to finally get the ball rolling. We've been working really hard this year. And we challenged ourselves early. They're a really good team that will have success this year, so it's fun to get it going.
Yeah, it's awesome. Growing up in Portland, been around this place a lot, so it was sweet to come home and get 3 out of 4 from a pretty good team. So it was just great. The atmosphere was awesome. It was snowing, it was wet, and that's just what we're used to. It's what we practice every day, and it's great to have friends and family in the stands. And we really flipped the script this weekend, so it was awesome.
It felt really good. It was a little bit cold, but we had a decent turnout with fans, which was really cool, and it was nice to finally get to play on the home field, and it was a lot of fun.
We were really excited after Sirius win. We were hoping we could get that Sunday win, but things didn't go our way there in the end. But we fought till the end, which was good. And playing at home, it was big for us from playing at UCLA, kind of far away. But being here with our fans and our crowd was a lot better.
It went pretty well. Our defense played great behind me. I thought Tate did an amazing job behind the plate. Coach Lambert called great pitches all day, and for me it was just more about executing my pitch one at a time, and defense picked me up all day, and offense scored a bunch of runs, so it made my job easy.
I wanted to stay close to home. I actually have some family in the Portland area. I felt like it was a really good fit, and it feels good to stay at home.
It's cool because I've lived here my whole life, so growing up I've followed Portland baseball, and I've known people who've gone here and played here, and it's cool getting to play in front of my family and friends every weekend. So
when the opportunity presented itself, it was awesome. Great facilities, great school, and I love being close to home. So I'm really thankful that it happened like this, and I'm really happy to be here.
All season long, we've asked fans to post pictures of themselves or their friends on social media cheering on the Pilots as part of the Bimart Fan Photo Contest, and we've had an abundance of great entries. This week was the last week to enter, and Maverick Tolentino is the Fan of the Week. Tolentino wins a prize package from Bimart, and he's now eligible, along with all the other previous weekly winners, to win the grand prize, which are tickets to see the Blazers battle Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat at the Moda Center on March 12th. We'll announce the grand prize winner next week right here on Portside. The WCC announced its all-conference basketball teams this week, and a trio of pilots were honored. On the men's side, Marcus Shaver Jr. was named to the league's all-freshman team and earned all-conference honorable mention. For the women, juniors Darian Slaga and Julie Spencer each landed all WCC honorable mention accolades. This is the first conference honor for both Slaga and Spencer. Shaver Jr. is the first pilot to land on the WCC's all-freshman team since Taishi Ito in 2007. He's also the first UP freshman to garner honorable mention status since Donald Wilson back in 2003. And it's West Coast Conference Championship time, and both the men's and women's basketball teams will make the annual trek to Las Vegas this week for the 2018 tournament. The women, who are coming off that win over Pepperdine, open the WCC tournament on Thursday afternoon at the Orleans Arena at 2 o'clock against Pacific, a team the Pilots split the season series with. The men are scheduled to play on Friday night at 6 o'clock against LMU. The Pilots defeated the Lions twice this season. While the basketball teams are in Vegas, the baseball team will be home to host CSU Bakersfield for a 4-game series at Joe Etzel Field beginning on Thursday. The women's tennis team will be at Montana and Montana State. The men's tennis team is looking to extend their home winning streak against number 33 Minnesota on Sunday, and the track teams will be at Linfield and Willamette. And finally, the Nike Play of the Week takes us to Joe Etzel Field, where the outstanding play of sophomore outfielder Ryan Kim helped the Pilots win 3 of 4 against the St. Joe's Hawks. Kim was on fire at the plate, hitting .625 against the Hawks, and on Saturday he just missed hitting for the cycle, something that has never been done in UP baseball history. So it's for the combination of several outstanding plays that we give this week's Play of the Week to Ryan Kim. And that does it for this week's Portside with the Pilots, but you can always reach out to us on social media by using the hashtag Portside. Good night, and we'll see you next week.